YouTubers, BitShooters, everybody, welcome to Retail Graveyard. Retail Graveyard, more than 7,000 US stores have closed this year. So this is from July 16, 2019. It's about a month, this article is less than a month old, but you know what? It's kind of important because we got some announcements here. What are the announcements? Let's go over them. Sears and Kmart closing these 26 stores in October. So with Kmart and Sears closing locations and liquidation sales are beginning all over these locations here. Here they are right here. A all the way to W. Tons of them closing. Why? It's because consumer confidence is at an all-time high, and aka everyone just conveniently buying everything online. But what kind of implementation or impact would this bring? A lot of people depended on these kind of middle-class service / retail type jobs. Our economy is a little smidge of the economy is built off a lot of these jobs. Governments were able to tax people's labor on these jobs. Where are they going to fill this deficit from? Well, you see how they did it when housing prices started to go down. Instead of property taxes going down because the value of the property went down, they just raised property taxes to offset the loss for the cities. So how are they going to combat the loss of wages that are not being taxed anymore when there's so many closures and so many middle-class working blue-collar Americans that work really hard? Even a lot of white-collar jobs are going to be terminated. People working the upper-end echelons, working in the offices to sign a few checks a day and go over a few numbers are still going to be in the grinder here. So what's happening? How are they going to fill this? See, everyone thinks, oh yeah, online's going to take over. Sure. Congratulations, online, you did it. But how are we going to fill that void if nobody's working and there's no wages to tax anymore, or nobody's labor to tax anymore, and benefits and retirement funds and people saving for retirement? How would they offset that with the losses of tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of jobs? I get it. We'll just print a bunch of money. Sears, Kmart are closing these 26 stores in October. Okay, so we went over that. Walgreens will close 200 stores in the United States of America. So Walgreens is for people that know, it's a pharmacy. It's like Rite Aid, Shoppers Drug Mart, London Drugs, places like that, right? Walgreens will close 200 locations across the United States as part of its plan to cut costs. After buying roughly half of Rite Aid stores 2 years ago, Walgreens expands its American footprint to more than 9,500 stores. The planned closures represent less than 3% of Walgreens locations, but those are still jobs being affected, right? 2,400 boot stores in the UK. Company expects to combine closures of 1.5 million. So this is a parent company, Walgreen Boots Alliance. So announced it would close 200 of its more than 2,400 boot stores in the United Kingdom. So the company revealed a regulatory filing Tuesday that will take a pre-tax charge of as much as 2.4 billion for the closures. What else is going on? Everyone been to this place, Party City? So if you have a party planned, you just go to one store and get everything you need. Party City up stores closing to Q2 disappoints as lack of helium dense sales. So balloons, party stuff, not happening. Why? Well, how do people buy helium online? I get it, they buy their own little bottle and fill their own balloons. I've seen that happen before. Party City. Haltco reported earnings and revenue that missed street expectations of helium storage contained to take on store sales. The company increased the number of its stores it plans to close this year from approximately 45 locations to 55. It also announced it's selling its 65 store Canadian division to Canadian Tire Company Corporation, or Cambodian Tire, or Crappy Tire, or Canadian Liars. All right, let's move on. Now, before I get there, let's go to this one here. All right, can you let me yeah, okay, so I have to allow this to pop up ads. Okay, good for you. All right, it's good to go. Harlang. I want to read this one because GNC plans to close up to 900 stores with focus on mall locations. So GNC wants to close up locations. I don't know if you guys remember GNC, the General Nutrition Center. I don't know if they sold anything there that ever really proven worked. I don't know. Anything I bought from there never really either worked or was just whatever, right? Health and wellness retailer GNC plans to close up to 900 stores with big cuts to mall locations expected. Officials with Pittsburgh-based chain spoke of their continued store optimization effort during GNC's second quarter earning call with analysts Monday. I think it could be likely that we'll reduce our mall count by nearly half, said Tracy, GNC chief financial officer. So we've got a little over 800 malls today, and over the long term, we could bring down closure to 400 to 500. Wow. 4,100 locations, 61% in strip centers, and 28% are in malls. So they want to keep the mall location because the foot traffic is there, right? So 74 overall across the retail sector, more than 7,400 stores are closing, are already in the works, completed so far in 2019. So back to the first article I showed you guys, that many stores. And yeah, we noticed you have your ad blocker. I don't care. Restaurants here, Steak and Shake's closing, and now they're blaming, of course they're going to blame Trump here. It wants me to allow ads on this. Oh, Christ. Trump's new tariffs could unleash an avalanche of store closings on the U.S. So you guys know what's happening with the tariff wars and what's happening to the trade wars and all that crap that's happening right now. President Trump announces new tariffs on Thursday on Chinese imports, including footwear, apparel, electronics, and other consumer goods. The tariffs could trigger mass store closures. UBS estimated in May that if the Trump administration added 25% tariffs to all remaining imports from China, the additional 12,000 stores could close, sending shockwaves throughout the industry. The U.S. has already experienced a record high store closures, bigger than anything we've seen over the last 20 years, according to UBS analyst Joe Slow. So this is very important because $300 billion, 10% tariffs on $300 billion in Chinese imports, I think is a big deal. But I still believe in bringing jobs home. I still believe in hiring your brother. Buy a pair of shoes from your brother. It's going to cost more, but it'll keep him employed. Remember the whole Reaganomics thing? Buy a car from your brother and keep him employed in Detroit. And that was a good campaign for a while because everyone was buying local cars. No one was buying imports for a while back in the mid 80s because they wanted to support their local producers, right? Their local car manufacturers, right? We're in a world of hurt. And one thing that's concerning me is people that get taxed on their wages, or people that contribute to the infrastructure, like I like to say, contribute towards the infrastructure. How would they contribute towards the infrastructure if they don't have a job, or if they can't find a job that they could be taxed on their wages or taxed on their labor? That's a problem, because the federal government's going to have to make up these deficits of all these store closures. Because people are looking, oh, guys out of a job. No, the government's out of money when someone's out of a job. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. I really like to know what you guys think. And I want to thank everyone for supporting this transmission. Don't forget to join me Saturday nights for Mike in the Nights. Subscribe to the channel and be part of this community. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know. Store closures. What's closing in your area? Are you in Australia? Are you in New Zealand? Are you in the United Kingdom? Are you in the United States of America? Canada? Where are you? What is closing? Why should it be? I mean, is it right to close? Yes, it's pricier to operate, but do you think maybe the federal government should start doing ease restrictions and taxes on the big corporate companies that don't even pay taxes anyways because they find loopholes not to pay taxes? This way they can ease the taxes on corporations and companies to allow to keep and maintain employees. Because one of the biggest expense when it comes to maintaining a business is staffing. Staffing is the biggest. It's even more than rent in some cases. Comment below, let me know, and thank you for watching.